As you may know, I brought a new computer last December due to my old one overheating and the hard drive exploding. I have a new one now, I feel ready to tell you the real reason why it crashed. November 30th, 2011. I really like the show My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic. It calms me down, and the plot is simple. It requires no constructive work to understand, however. I was beginning to get bored of the season 1 episode, so I decided to surf the web and look for some more season 2 ones. It took a good while searching about 2 or 3 pages of Google. I eventually found an episode titled My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic, Legend of the Lost Pony. Just then, a flashback occurred. Does anyone remember the My Little Pony storybook where Minty, Pinkie Pie, Sarah, and Rainbow Dash were having a sleepover and telling ghost stories? I remember that in the book when I was 7. When I was in the original My Little Pony dolls. The story used to scare me as a kid. I often hide under my covers, fearing that the ghost pony will come after me. Instead, see my childhood reincarnated by the creator of the show, Lauren Faust. I clicked on the link linking to the website, and I analyzed the page. It was no URL, irritated, as I could not link to friends to my friends to the episode. I continued examining the web page. It looked like an internet coded website that 8th graders could make in technology classes. The movie player had no timeline, no pause button, just an arrow in the center of the video. I was still debating about the episode, so I scrolled down to the description. The description was just ... I rolled my eyes, thinking it was some stupid prank made by a YouTube troll, and I decided to be brave. I wanted to prove myself I wasn't going to get scared shitless after some guy's amusement, so I hit the play button. To my surprise, the My Little Pony opening sequence played out as usual. I began to sing along to the theme song, being so happy it wasn't a prank, but the theme song ended. The My Little Pony logo at the end of the opening just stayed there for a while. I thought the video was lagging, so I hovered over the window. There was no buffering symbol, so I assumed the video was over. Until very loud static screamed through my headphones. My heart skipped a beat due to the contrast. The complete silence of the logo was frozen. The screen was black until 3 words in white chiller text faded to my vision. Lost Pony is coming. The text jumped and flickered if it was an old movie. I began to shiver and complain whether I should close the window, but static then shifted to a scenario more pleasant. 3 Cutie Mark Crusaders, Apple Bloom, Scootaloo, and Sweetie Belle, were going over to Twilight Sparkle's house with their sleeping bags. I assumed they were staying the night. Scootaloo knocked on the door, and before Twilight could even say hello, 3 girlies ran into the house. As Twilight closed the door, the video panned upwards to reveal at the top of the treehouse, where Owlalicious landed on a thick branch. The frame froze for a few seconds. Zooming into Owlalicious's face, I could almost swear I could hear the sound of a music box playing and little girls laughing faintly in the background. I noticed the sound getting drastically louder as a horrible image flashed into the screen. The video was completely zoomed to Alicia's face in a blurry black and white. The sound of a little girl screaming then sounded into his speakers, along with the loud banging on the piano. His eyes were black holes. He didn't have a beak. No. A frighteningly realistic human mouth, grinning with teeth spreading across the owl's face. The frame continued to jump and shift. The screaming and banging and laughing children continued to play out. After almost wetting myself, the video went back to the four ponies. The Cutie Mark Crusaders all snuggled up in their sleeping bags, eyes eager fixated on Twilight. As she lifted a book with her magical horn and placed it on our desk. "Now, girls," Twilight spoke in her kind and stirring voice. "This story is called The Prince of Canterlot." Once she was interrupted by Scootaloo. "Boring," she whined. "Come on, Twi. Let's hear something scary." Apple Bloom, Sweetie, and Sweetie Belle nodded their heads in agreement. Twilight blushed, embarrassed. Okay. How about the story of the Sunshine Village?" Scootaloo shook her head. "The Happy Prince?" "Twilight," Scootaloo complained. "Something scary." Defeated, Twilight gave into Scootaloo's request. "All right," she groaned. "Spike, fetch me The Legend of Lost Pony." The video panned over to Spike. He seemed to be very frightened at that request. "No!" Spike began to shudder. "No! No!" Spike ran off. My senses told me this is going to get worse before it can get any better. I sat shaking in my chair as I hesitantly watched. The three fillies snuggled in their excitement. I began to tell them the story. Once upon a time, many of years ago, there's a Pegasus known as Red Helper. Twilight's voice trailed off the screen, began to wobble in a flashback. The screen cut to black for a while. I thought the video was over, so I was about to close the window, but a blood-curdling moan made me jump out of my seat, forcing me to watch. More static played out until there's a clip of a white Pegasus with a spiky mane and tail, and a red cross for a cutie mark. His eyes were dull and emotionless. He did nothing, but stared at the road. He blinked and once began to walk. I noticed the quality was rapidly decreasing as he walked. There was a music box faintly playing in the background. Followed some uncomfortable murmuring, and then the static sounded, causing me to jump again. The scenery then shifted into a center of town where several ponies looked at him in disgust and anger. The ponies surrounded him like they're speaking backwards. Then the shot panned to Princess Celestia. She was flowing with rage. Red Helper could barely look up to her, which seemed to make her mad even more. "What have you done?" She screamed. Do you have any idea how serious this is?" Red lifted his head and slightly spoke. Notice I said spoke. Come out was a loud static sound. The ponies looked shocked and terrified. "Get out!" Celestia growled. "Get out! Get out! Get out!" She stamped her hoof on the ground, causing it to shake. Red's eyes widened. Celestia continued to scream her head off at him until he bolted off to the woods. As he walked, however, every step he made the screen darken. The sound of banging piano could be heard again. Red opened his mouth, and the words that came out made my blood run cold. "I didn't mean you kill her, my love," he said in an eerie, childlike voice. "Her skin was so perfect. I had to have it for my own. She won't stop screaming. I didn't want her to scream. So The pitch turned into a demonic growl. "Cut out her eyes." The static had then filled up the player once again. Then I heard a whisper. "Do you want to end up like her?" The frightening image of Red suddenly appeared on the screen. His colors were dark and dirty. He had no longer his eyes or wings. They were replaced by bloody bandages. His back right leg was missing. The remaining legs covered with cuts and bruises. His smile was replaced by a realistic human mouth of its screaming. The screaming sound played again, along with the creepy music box and the little children laughing. Oh my god, he was crying in fear. The screen cut to black and the nightmare was falling over. So I thought. The player then disappeared. The webpage was completely black. I looked around a bit, saw a smallest text at the below far right corner. The text read, "Bye now." I heard another scream, and my computer blue screened. I ran into my room and hid myself under the covers, sobbing hysterically. I didn't dare to touch that computer for the rest of the night. December 1st, 2011. After the awful terror I witnessed yesterday, I decided to check my computer again, this time in broad daylight. I started out my computer seemed normal. I opened up my pictures folder. I noticed all the hard drive has been wiped out. There was no folders, no pictures, no videos, nothing but 2 files read lostponytxt JPEG and a movie titled BuyNow.mov. I clicked the movie. It was 4 minutes and 9 seconds long. It was an image of Red laying in a red room with a wicked smile on his face. The movie quality was crappy and concerned of, you guessed it, static. I watched the whole movie in suspense. Until my relief, nothing happened. I clicked the red X button and closed my player and tried to see the Lost Pony image, but it had disappeared. So did the movie. My entire job was completely erased. I had no programs, not even Windows Movie Maker. My login was titled ... There was only shutdown option. Knowing it could be pointless to continue searching for any files, I clicked shutdown, and to my surprise, my laptop turned off immediately. After a few hours of waiting, I tried turning my computer on. It didn't work. I have a new computer now, and I will never forget what happened that horrible night.